Radio Podcast, where you can find all your episodes at www.therebelradiopodcast.com. And make sure you're following us on all our social media so you never miss a beat of the action or the movies or anything else that we decide to talk about. You never know what's going to come up on this show from week to week. I mean, we've had all sorts of topics that arise at times, and you never know. And I don't know where I'm going with that. I was just trying to introduce the show in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
But with me as always is Matt, my partner in crime for almost every episode of these 400 something episodes. And then the next most episodes ever on the show is sitting there to the right of me on the camera.
Disloyal, the lazy, the incompetent, me. No.
The evil Dr. Tran is here on the show, man.
The running Tran.
Yes. You do own the rights to say the third most episodes now. You've certainly surpassed the Frankster in the number of episodes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say definitely now for sure.
And
I mean, he did years straight.
Yeah, because I mean, Frank only was most of the first about 110, and Long is way past that because we're at 400 now, and he's been on at least 75% of the last 300. So yeah, he's definitely passed up Frank.
Definitely.
So yeah. So you win a no prize. Long means you didn't win jack shit, but congratulations for having the third most prize episodes of the show. So,
yeah, get in line.
That's right. And but how are you fellas? My allergies have been fucking kicking my ass. So that's why I sound a little nasally.
It's Friday. That's all I can say.
Thank God, man. This was a long week at work. I'm glad it's Friday.
Yeah.
And then I have a 4-day work week coming up, taking an extra day off. So I can't say I'm looking forward to work, but I'm glad it'll be a 4-day work week, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah.
I popped in real quick to say hi to you at work.
I know. You did. You stalked me at work. You just walk in my back room. Where's your Oreo Coke, sir? It's on aisle 2, motherfucker, or something like that. And then I tried it. I said, "Get out of my back room, bitch!" No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's interesting. It tastes like a
do your job, fool.
It's like a vanilla. Anyway, for you who don't know, there's a Oreo flavored Coke out there.
Yes,
and it tastes like a.
Matt, did you brew it?
We did not. We did not make that flavor.
It literally tastes like an Oreo, but not what you would think. You would think it's overly chocolatey. It's really not. It's more like a creamy vanilla flavor.
It tastes like someone grabbed like old stock shelf Oreo cream and pulverized the cream and cookie and then just
they creamed their Coke.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was all right. Maybe it's the Coke Zero part of it that kind of ruined it. I don't know.
It wasn't great, no, but it certainly was better than that Space Coke or that other fucking shit.
Oh yeah,
the Spice Coke. Or
I didn't try that. I don't like
the
raspberry.
Spice Coke.
I think he meant like Starlight. Was it Starlight? Or...
No, there's Spicy Coke too.
There's Spice Coke, but it's raspberry flavored Spice Coke. I don't like raspberry, so I wouldn't try that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You prefer dingleberries, right?
Right. With a little bit of hair on them.
Long.
All right.
Poop joke.
But yeah, and then there's Coke flavored Oreos as well, which I've heard aren't that good. They have put like popping candy in them. They say they're kind of funky.
My sister tried them, and she says they're okay.
Yeah. So I don't know the things that they will make to sell to people.
Mm-hmm.
We just try to sell you good movie talk on this episode.
Yeah, dude.
I won't say it's great. That's why I said it's good. And I want to give a quick shout out to Michael at work. He's been coming up, talk to me. He's been listening to the show and showing his support. And we were talking about movies and stuff at work. And so I always try to do that to people that over the years that give us a little support.
Is that the guy you were talking to when I walked in?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's a little shout out to Michael there for supporting the show.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, that's his name. That's what I said. His name is Michael. Michael's a pretty common name, just like Matt's a pretty common name.
What? No, it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody has a unique
unless
name.
It's Matt Tholomew. Then
Matt Tholomew.
Matt Tholomew.
I mean, no one. No one has a name Long except for Long. He's the most unique name
It's
in
a
the
very
universe.
common name. Yeah.
It's not fucking common in my universe, Long. Okay.
Listen,
So.
outside of Jersey Village, there's a when you walk past
Just
that water
revealed our
tower,
location in the world now.
you walk past that water tower, and there's a world outside there beyond there.
But I'm scared. I don't want to leave my.
You hide your wallet as soon as you walk past that water tower. No, I'm kidding.
Hide your wallet.
No.
Oh, it's always good to have the boys back together. But yeah, man. So, but yeah, man. But I'm glad you're on the show, Long, man. It's Matt's birthday this week.
Yep,
It was on Wednesday.
Here.
So
Because
happy
of
birthday,
a lot of
Matt!
crying
to you.
and begging from Matt for me to show up on the
Dude,
show.
he did. He's
Yeah,
texting you, practically fucking sucking your dick, like, "Oh, come on, join the show."
And I damn well enjoyed it. That's why I'm here. If you're trying to embarrass me, you can't, Mark.
It was. He's like trying to play up how great this fucking movie is. Like, oh, look at this! It won a special effect or it had a nomination. No one fucking cares, Matt. Is what I'm telling you. I'm talking to my phone. Matt didn't hear me say this, but I'm looking at my phone like, Matt, no one gives a fuck. Because we'll get into this movie in a minute. This movie is only good for a few certain reasons. I'm going to explain why when we get to that. Otherwise, if you take out those few certain reasons, this is a very generic film. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But yeah, he did do a little begging and choosing. But no, it's always good to have Long on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And Long's going to join us a few times, I think, in the coming weeks. I know he wants to do a couple of the Halloween movies possibly with us, and I know Long's going to come on in the first 2 weeks of November when we do back-to-back Godzilla movies to celebrate the 70th anniversary. Yeah. I don't know what two films we're doing yet. Likely, Terror of Mechagodzilla is going to be one of them because it's one of my favorites, and I don't know what the second one's going to be yet. But so I'm sure Long will want to come back and celebrate 70 years of Godzilla in November with us for sure too. Yeah, man, let's get into the show now, and if we can keep it together, as we've already had some good laughter here in the first few moments of the show. But Long, man, have you watched anything interesting since you were last on about a month ago? You know,
yeah. Actually, I watched Delicious in Dungeon, an anime, and exclusive on Netflix. It's basically about a group of adventurers who are trying to find the party leader's sister, who was devoured by a dragon, maybe. But they're in search of his sister in the dungeon, and they didn't stop for any provisions in the town. So they make do by eating monsters that they kill. Wow. And let me tell you something. It doesn't matter what show, but food in anime looks so good for some reason.
Always.
Like the beginning of Spirited Away where they eat all the food. Yeah. I think when I was scrolling through Netflix, I saw the title card for this show you were watching, and it looked interesting.
Yeah, just check out the first 2 or 3 episodes. You might like it. Very well dubbed. And then I saw a super niche movie, not niche, but it's a very old movie, and it's not a classic by any means at all. And for some reason, I bought it years ago, and I finally came around to watching it. It was called The Bedford Incident, starring Richard Hayward and Sidney Poitier. It's in black and white. It came out in 1965. And it's basically about a reporter, Sidney Poitier, who comes down to a destroyer during the Cold War, and this destroyer captain's like a hard ass, but it's basically about this captain trying to basically play cat and mouse with a Soviet submarine throughout the whole picture, and that's really it's all about. It was pretty good, but I could see why it was never popular to begin with, and no one's ever heard of it. And first, I don't even remember why I bought it in the first place. It was like, hey, what's this doing in my library? I think I remember buying this. Like, it's considered like one of the top 10 movies for submarine enthusiasts, I guess. And I am a submarine
probably
enthusiast.
why you bought it, yeah.
Yeah. So I just decided to buy it. It was like $5 to purchase. It's like, why not? Why the fuck not? And just bought it. And building Legos while I'm watching this film. So yeah,
Nice.
caught up on Karate Kid a little bit. I'm like in the early season of season 5, and it's a slog because it's like making me kind of like I'm not interested. The momentum is lost in the 5th season a little bit. Even with being in the 5th season a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It's just kind of running dry for me. Um, what else did I see? Those are the main ones for sure. Um, oh yeah, rewatched a bunch of Marvel movies and stuff too. Um, but yeah, that's how things for me. Agatha all along.
I
Coming
get that
out.
all along.
I don't know. I have no interest in seeing that movie or
No,
series.
me
So,
neither.
I may only watch it for Aubrey Plaza,
yeah.
just to see something more recent with her in it.
What's her name again? Jessica Hahn, right?
I think so.
Something like that.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
another sorceress or witch or
Well,
something.
she was the main villain in WandaVision.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
But like beyond that, though, I didn't feel like she needed a show. It's like okay, sure. I don't know. Marvel TV shows. I can't, man. Falcon Winter Soldier might be the last one I watched the whole season. I never really got into Loki, even though people said it's good. And I did watch parts of Miss Marvel, which was actually better than people gave it credit for. She-Hulk was terrible. I couldn't even make it through the 2nd episode. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels like stretching things a little bit thin there, Marvel, with too much.
Yeah.
No, I will. I'll watch Daredevil when it comes out next year, even though I wish it was a movie. But I'll watch it. As I really like the Netflix series a lot. So Netflix Daredevil series is still my favorite of any of the TV shows they've done. So
Catherine Hahn, that's her name.
no,
Catherine Hahn.
we said what, Kathy? So yeah,
I kind of want to watch Kingpin again. Anyway, it's a Farley Brothers movie. I've forgotten how funny that movie was.
Is that the
That
one
was-
with
random.
man
Woody Harrelson,
Venkman?
I think.
Oh, is it Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrelson, Bill Murray,
Bill Murray,
Randy
yeah.
Quaid at the peak of his career.
Yep.
Wait, he had a career peak.
Yeah, Independence Day and yeah.
I thought he reached that peak with Christmas Vacation, but
Yeah.
Did you know they had a Christmas Vacation too?
yeah, it's like direct to DVD.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
It's not good. It has
horrible.
Randy Quaid in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that was
just
during
Randy.
the whole. It was during the whole direct to DVD movie craze that happened in the mid 2000s, I think.
I saw
Mhm.
Vegas Vacation.
Oh yeah, that one's good. Yeah,
It was
okay.
a direct to video one, isn't it? Yeah. Vegas
Maybe,
Vacation and Major League kicking it down to the minors. That's a direct to video.
Well, that actually
Mhm.
had a very small theatrical release, but it just
Yeah.
didn't do very well.
Yeah. With Scott Bakula.
Yeah. Poor Scott Bakula. Came off the success of Quantum Leap, but just could not have movie success. He made a few films and none of them were successful. But that's okay. Sometimes you're just a TV actor. You still gave us Sam Beckett. And that's pretty
Tom
cool.
Selleck is another one that could have been a big movie star, but couldn't really get past it.
Well,
Except for Three Men and Little Baby.
And then he had to turn down Indiana Jones so he could make Magnum PI. His career was never the same.
Yeah.
My mom used to have a thing for Tom Selleck, and she used words like, "Oh, he was sexy back in the day." I'm like, "Mom, no, stop talking."
Stop it, Mom.
Things you don't hear about me. I know.
He gets my strudel going.
My strudel.
Oh.
Oh man.
Anyways.
Man, well,
Wow.
I didn't watch jack shit this week. I played college football a lot on the PlayStation and lost. I lost to Texas A&M in the national title game on the game, and that pissed me off. And I almost had a throwing down the controller moment with that. I didn't because I'm
No.
not going to throw down an expensive controller, but that's what I wanted to do. And I was like, "Are you serious? This is the national title game I lost to the biggest arch rival to the Texas Longhorns, and it felt real. I know it wasn't real, but it felt real. Even a video game, you don't want to lose to the Aggies, you know."
Mm-hmm.
And I was disappointed. I did not sleep good that night. I really did not. I know it's just a game. I know people are shaking
You
their
didn't
heads.
sleep well.
I was like, I turned it off, went, took a shower, and I'm standing in the shower going, I just lost that fucking game. Like, wait, what? What just happened? It was sad. I know.
It happens to the best of us.
That's mostly what I did this week was play games. I don't know. I was flipping through like the last couple of weeks. I found stuff to watch. You know, like I watched The Quiet Place Day 1 and I watched The Fall Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And this Saturday morning, I kind of got up and was flipping through stuff, and I just couldn't find something that really made me want to watch it this week. You know, just
How was The Fall Guy?
Streaming. It's fun. It's Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt are fantastic in it. They make it worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I give the whole cast a lot of credit. I think they're all
even Aaron Taylor Johnson does his thing. I watched it.
Yeah. I mean, let Matt talk about it if he just watched it. I found it fun. A little long at times. Like it could have been shortened up a little bit.
I guess it used to be a TV series.
Yeah, it's loosely based on the old TV series with what's his name, Lee Majors. Yeah, and Lee Majors. Strangely, he cameos in the post-credit scene, but you barely notice he's there. I don't know why they didn't give Lee Majors his respects and give him a better cameo. I thought that was a little strange. You know?
Oh yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's fun. But that's really I didn't really watch anything. But Matt, what did you watch this week? Obviously, The Fall Guy.
yeah, I watched The Fall Guy, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It's crazy. And I like the other cameo in there at the end before the credits start rolling.
Momoa.
Yeah, with Jason Momoa. That was fun, and he does his Momoa thing, and it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
but man,
I don't want to give away much, but it's fun.
The more I watch, though, not to interrupt you, like Emily Blunt. Man, she's a national treasure, isn't she? She's just so good. She really deserves her flowers, and hopefully her career continues to get better. Because everything I watch her in, I'm starting to realize, like, man, this chick can freaking do it all. She can do action, she can do comedy, she can do horror. I mean, she's really, really talented. I can see why Tom Cruise singled her out and wanted to work with her in Edge of Tomorrow because he sees how good she is. You know, and she's really just really fantastic actress.
What was the first movie she starred in? The Adjustment Bureau?
Possibly. I mean, I don't know.
She's got her start in England, really. Yeah,
England.
But she's just really, really good. I mean, and because Ryan Gosling's very good, and to play off of him well, you have to have a strong female lead, and she's great in it.
Yeah, you need that. We say you need that straight man to keep, the goofy guy funny, to have that contrast. This one, she's the straight woman to keep.
Sorry about that loud bang there. My foot caught the mic cord and about knocked it out.
We're playing footsies with the mic.
That's right.
Yeah, next on Rebel Radio, Foot Sounds from Mark, our host. This one's my big toe. Yeah.
Anyway, what else did you watch?
I also watched just some movies that I think are fun. Here I feel like we're gonna watch like Arnold's last good film that's not named Terminator 3. And I think, I did Gone in 60 Seconds once, and I felt like that was Nick Cage's last good film. Kind of like how Bruce Willis did Tears of the Sun, but then, Bruce Willis came back and did a couple good, I'd say one good Die Hard film. And then the last one was, but yeah, Cage, I felt like after Gone in 60 Seconds, there was a couple films that I liked that he did. Like I liked that he did Massive Weight, Unbearable.
I was going to say that movie's awesome.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. because he's playing like his old self. He's playing the Face Off, the Con Air, the Gone in 60 Seconds. Whenever he's talking to himself, he's got the Memphis Reigns hairdo again. I haven't seen Long Legs. I hear people say that Long Legs is good, but I haven't seen it.
I heard if you like the first Fly movie, you'll like Long Legs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check that out then. But yeah,
What, the original Fly or Long Legs?
Oh, Long Legs, not the original Fly. We did that. When did we did that? We did that last year, I guess.
That's a gross movie.
Yeah, it
We did
is.
last
Man.
year during
Jeff
Halloween
Goldblum.
Horrors.
Yeah. But yeah, every one of those iconic actors has that last blockbuster that they did on the way out. That's like, you could tell it was still good, enjoyable, and it had some of that flash in it, but just you could tell that's whenever they were on the downslope. Still, I forget which movie that would have been for Stallone. I don't know if that was Cobra, or what he might have done in the 90s.
Yeah, but Stallone completely
he
different.
came back.
He had a comeback. Yeah, that's a bit different. He never really kept making bad movies. He did make a comeback with Copland and more Rocky films. Yeah.
Yeah, which we'll mention a little bit today as the movie we covered today. Stallone was the original pick, but he decided to do Copland instead, and that's how we got Arnold to do Eraser. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Cage was in Kick-Ass after going in 60 Seconds. Like, come on, you can't.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a good one. But
National Treasure.
like a Cage film.
Are we
he
still
wasn't
talking
National
about
Treasure.
Eraser? Or are we talking about Nicolas Cage?
I was looking up. Matt said Going 60 Seconds was the last good Cage film. I was like, no way. Lord of War, National Treasure.
You don't know
Lord
your
of War was Man.
Okay.
The Wicker
You
Man.
don't know your Cage films, dog.
Season of the Witch. The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Maggie.
Yeah. Color of what was that? Color of something.
Superman. Hello.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he wasn't
Werewolf
Superman.
Woman of the SS. Oh, it's a short film. But yeah, National Treasure.
We're talking. Yeah, don't go too far because then he turns into Rob Schneider, where he just takes everything.
Oh yeah, that's he owed the IRS money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And he refused to sell his comic book collection to pay him. It was actually a true story. He did end up selling part of the collection, but he refused to sell it at first because he was like, "No, I can make money back." Yeah. So, yeah.
That's funny. That explains why he took all those damn films.
Was it IRS or tax? I know he got in trouble for something. I don't know. It's always taxes or IRS with actors,
Yeah.
But yeah, so you watch some old films. And The Fall Guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm completely lost. I don't even know what we're talking about. So let's just get into today's movie.
Yeah.
So this is Matt's birthday pick, and he's as people know, he's a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. And he chose Arnold Schwarzenegger film this year. And this is a movie that came out in 1996, directed by Chuck Russell, who was best known for what did he make?
Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And he makes this movie called Eraser, which is essentially Arnold Schwarzenegger plays a cop named John who almost feels like a pseudo sequel to Kindergarten Cop, still playing a cop named John. And he goes in and he helps people restart their lives, government witnesses and stuff, and he hides them and starts them over as they're trying to escape bad people. And then he gets in and it turns out that there's a whole weapons selling deal, these new electromagnetic pulse weapons that is being covered up by his own boss, essentially. And he has to stop. Very simple plot, which somehow works on a level of not being too generic. And I think it works for certain reasons, which we'll get into.
It was borderline generic
in a little bit. But it's one of those movies that when I rewatched this week, probably the first time I've seen it in 20 years or whatever. This is that era of Arnold Schwarzenegger coming off of Terminator's success and some other films that you forget you're watching this movie, and I'm going to sneeze. Bless me. You
Bless you,
almost
sir.
forget you're watching Arnold play a character in this movie. This is one of those movies that becomes an Arnold movie because you don't, halfway through the movie, you don't even remember his name of his character. You're just watching Arnold do Arnold things.
Yes.
I realized that when I'm watching this the other day. I'm like, because I'm trying to remember things till we can talk about the podcast, right? I'm like, what's his name? I don't even know what his fucking name is. All I know is Arnold's kicking ass.
John the Eraser Kruger. He sounds like a WWE villain.
But this movie really is in that era of Schwarzenegger films where he was sold as a badass. It's just Arnold Schwarzenegger doing badass things. It doesn't matter what his fucking name is. You could call him Lucy, and you're still going to watch it, even if you had a chick name.
This movie starts out. Yeah.
That's kind of what I got from watching this. This is an Arnold film. They didn't have to sell this and sell the plot. They just had to have Arnold doing some cool shit. And that's why the movie works, because there's a couple ridiculous action scenes in this movie, even for 1996, that are really exciting and are really good. They're almost Tom Cruise Mission Impossible level action scenes that we're getting the same year that the first Mission Impossible film came out.
Yes.
And I think that's why this movie works. You take away those good action scenes, this is a generic, boring film.
Absolutely agree. He also did his own stunts for this film, like Chris.
I'll stop talking, Matt, and let you talk about your birthday pick and why you like this and why you picked it and so forth.
Yeah. I felt like, Arnold, like you said, it's an Arnold film where he showcases, I feel like, good acting chops. He's comfortable in his role and his character, and you can see that on screen. He's not awkward like you would see in maybe Hercules in New York, where he was like the most awkward, and he's not trying to be overly funny or awkward funny like.
We barely can fucking speak English in Hercules in New York. I mean, come on, let's be fair there.
Yeah, I thought about Hercules in New York for a second, but I didn't.
I might have vetoed that one.
That movie is hard to make it through. But yeah, and then his comedy is perfectly timed. I feel like in this film, when
that's the weirdest. But that's the weirdest part of this movie.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be this serious action movie, and then you have like James Caan saying stuff like, "If you don't catch him, I'm gonna like chop your balls off." And then Arnold Schwarzenegger says like these comedy lines, and I'm like, why are they doing comedy lines in the middle of this movie? It's weird. It's like it makes no sense.
You have a buffet of
it's almost like they had a script and they're like, okay, this is too serious. We need to say something funny right here. And you can see him standing on the side by the camera rewriting, like, let's just write a funny line. It's weird.
Well, he kept asking for rewrites. He asked for like 2 or 3 of them, one of which was done by the Shawshank Redemption writer, and another that was done by one of the writers that helped on Terminator 2. But yeah, it went through a couple rewrites, and it did create some noise in Hollywood attention because of that. But yeah, you've got a version of Arnold in the beginning of the film that is almost John Wickish. He's a ninja. And it throws me off. He's doing acrobatic fights.
Yeah, and then he comes walking into the courthouse or the police station. And they do the trench coat thing with him. These early Arnold movies, well, not early, but, they always would put him in these trench coats. It's almost like the wardrobe department didn't know how to dress him. Oh, he's a big guy, so we're just going to put him in a trench coat. Which is strange because Arnold actually in this movie is not even at his Mr. America weight. He's fit, but he's like about 275, just muscle. Leaner. But yet they put him in that big guy outfit. Oh, we don't know how to dress him. We're just going to put him in a trench coat.
Yeah, it ain't Last Action Hero, that's for sure. No. And I'll give a shout out to obviously Vanessa Williams, who is no damsel in this movie. She's not afraid to shoot.
For being a singer turned actor, she's very good in the movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her in Passenger 57.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she did quite a few films. She wouldn't do another action film though until Shack with Samuel L. Jackson.
Shaft. I don't know why you said
Shack. Why did I say Shack? Shaft. But yeah,
there goes our black audience.
There we go. Damn it! I fucked it up. Damn it. But but yeah, and the stunts. Obviously, the stunts. He freaking flies. He throws a chair into a plane engine, and then throws the parachute out the window, dives through the flames,
And then he
grabs
hangs onto the
parachute,
plane, even with the G-force. They're like, there's no fucking way. You
and
know?
then James Caan's like, "Turn the plane around. I want his ass dead." And then they fly the plane at Arnold. And
It's
he's like,
Actually,
ridiculous.
I think I remember that being my favorite
They
scene.
do
in
like
the
this.
movie.
"Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they do like this 70-degree turn in this Boeing plane. It's like, there's no fucking way.
And he pulls out his Desert Eagle. And he's like, "You may have a
Yeah,
plane, but
right.
I have 50 caliber bullets." He's like just shooting at the damn plane while in the parachute.
But yet,
And
the whole thing is exciting as hell. You can't
It
help but, like
is.
buy into it. You're like, this is awesome. You know?
and then the alligator scene. He shoots
What
a
zoo has fucking alligators? Tell me this.
in a
I've never-
tank. In a tank?
Like, you go to SeaWorld, they have alligators, but that's SeaWorld. I've never heard of
Yeah.
a zoo with alligators in a tank. And there's terrible CGI alligators from 1996. And he straight up kicks and punches this fucking alligator. It's like, what?
and then he has his line, "Your luggage."
Yeah, I know, right? He talked to a dead alligator. I was like, that had me rolling, dude. I'm like, really? You just said that? Oh, it's like, oh man. But again, you buy into it because it's Arnold Schwarzenegger doing Arnold as an adult. Now you can look back and like, well, we were adults then. Well, you weren't, Matt, but me and Long were young teenagers, young men when this came out.
Yeah.
But it's like we weren't maybe smart enough to realize that these are really bad lines of dialogue in 1996. Like, okay, that's cool. Now you realize it's bad enough, but yet you also put yourself in that mind when you watch it. You realize like why you enjoyed it because you grew up watching Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and these guys do amazing things on screen, and you just because that's what they did,
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's why Chuck Russell wanted Arnold, because he felt like Jack Kruger was John Kruger, John Kruger was this larger than life person in the script, and he wanted a larger than life mythic person to play him, and that's Arnold, obviously.
Absolutely.
He is always mythic in his performances. Always larger than life, especially whenever he was at his best. But yeah, man, he at the end you got the crazy shootout, and with the EM1 rifles, which we found out were in Ready Player One randomly. They popped up on H's inventory. So there is an eraser reference in Ready Player One, and then at the end, the fist fight for the gun on top of the shipping container, and and then you've got some bad CGI there too. You've got the
extra ending.
Yeah, the extra ending with the court case. It's like you've just been erased.
I know another couple of references for Eraser. There's that airplane scene in the A-Team, when the parachute. That's an Eraser mark. That's also that movie about the alligator during the floods. What's it called? That's an Eraser reference. Let's see. Anytime Arnold is in an action movie, that's an Eraser reference. Yeah, there we go. So basically, we're circling back to Eraser is definitely a borderline generic action movie.
Well, no, and it really, if you take away the airplane sequence and the alligator fight, and then it really is
a high body count,
and take away the EMP weapons, it really is kind of a generic film,
Yeah.
But all that kind of science fiction elements of the EMP weapons and the really cool airplane sequence kind of makes this movie rise above generic isms. I don't know. It makes it a little bit more entertaining.
It's a fun movie, though. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, it didn't feel like a chore.
No, I didn't
to-
think it needed the added ending
Yeah.
with the car bomb and faking his death. I didn't think it needed that. I think the movie could have ended just as well after they captured James Caan at the end, and I think it would have been just fine. But then you don't get the "you've been erased" line,
Exactly.
So yeah, because they had all the evidence they needed. They had the disc. They had all that. Like, they're busted. And then he makes this. They add this extra ending where he makes a threat. Oh, we'll walk free if she never stands trial. Like, he's going to kill her or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you didn't need all that, but you had to add a few extra minutes to the movies.
Okay, everybody, chill.
Chill.
1 year later.
The next year he would be Mr. Freeze.
Oh man. But
yeah.
No. So, but this movie did well at the box office. We were talking pre-show about it. Was the number 6 movie that year.
Yeah, there were 5 movies that beat it. Obviously, we know number 1. We talked about it pre-show. Independence Day.
Was Mission Impossible in the top 5?
Mission Impossible is number 3. Yeah, number 3 is Mission Impossible that year.
How about The Rock?
The Rock is number 4. That also beat Eraser.
I love The Rock. That's still one of my favorite action movies.
There's 2 other films. One's a comedy, and one had a reboot of sorts this year.
This year? Really?
Dumb and Dumber?
Nope. Nutty Professor is the.
Oh,
is the
yeah.
movie.
I enjoyed that movie when it came out.
Yeah, I did too. And I tried not that long ago to watch that, and it's not as funny as it was back then.
His Richard Simmons impression was so funny.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
I did not realize that was actually Eddie Murphy. He's like, no way, he's in whiteface playing Richard Simmons. That is so hilarious. And it's just
I'm looking 1996
such
movies.
a shoe-in for it too.
1996 movies. Let's see. Why is my phone being so slow?
I remember 97 was the year we were...
Twister? That had to be top 5.
Oh, yeah, Twister. Yeah.
Twister was number 2. So it was
Scream,
1 Independence Day, 2 Twister, 3 Mission Impossible, 4 The Rock, and 5 Nutty Professor. It beat out Eraser. That beat out Eraser by 20 million.
Yeah. On a bittersweet note, that was Twister was when I was introduced to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Philip Seymour Hoffman, man, one of the greats, gone too soon too.
Yeah.
Kingpin came out that year, but it fell at number 21. So interesting year. We would have the birth of the Mission Impossible franchise. Well, not the birth, but the reboot. And the world's introduced Philip Seymour Hoffman, who ended up being a bad guy in Mission Impossible 3 about 10 years later.
Yeah, a good bad guy too.
Yeah,
very good.
And then you had, that's it. And then Bill Paxton in Twister, who would work with Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow, who was in Mission Impossible that year. See, it's all connected. Hollywood's connected.
Bill Paxton was in Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah, plays the sergeant.
He was a sergeant.
Yeah. You've seen Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you American? He
Once, 10 years ago.
It was our Tom Cruise birthday movie this year. We covered, man, it's really good, actually. It's unfairly underrated. It's really good.
Yeah, I had to buy it after because it was on sale for $5 too, and I was like, this is a great deal for $5.
Yeah, that's actually a really underrated film. Didn't get enough notice. Yeah, man. So Racer, good movie pick, Matt. Better than Last Action Hero or Austin Powers, some of your other movie picks of the past.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed watching this week, and it was good to revisit, man. It reminded me of a time in which I didn't maybe take film so serious. Not that I take film super seriously now, but I remember just Arnold was bigger than life to me.
Yeah,
Arnold was bigger than life to me back in the 80s and 90s, and this is one of those films that reminded me of why he was bigger than life. And it holds up pretty well. It does really hold up well. A couple of really good action sequences. Maybe the CGI doesn't hold up well, but that's okay. It's just part of the moving on. The CGI was better in this than it was in Mortal Kombat, which we just did last week, which does not hold up as well, 30 years later as this movie does. But it was still a fun one. And so, we felt, with that said, it was a good time of the month to do this month in pop culture history. And kind of like we did in August, where we kind of brought some stuff up that happened around my birthday. We're going to bring up some stuff this month that happened around your birthday.
Nothing.
And Matt's
No,
birthday, Matt is a September 11th birthday. And we do want to give our respects to those we lost on September 11th, but that will not be, we're going to keep this positive, happy. We're not going to, let anything bring us down, even though it was a sad day for everybody, but we respect that. But we want to do this from a positive note, not talk about that being what happened on Matt's birthday.
Also, the beginning of the end of terrorists.
Right.
Yes. Damn
So,
right.
not quite a sad day.
Which Arnold Schwarzenegger took out in True Lies.
And collateral damage.
That's right.
Obama was responsible for 9/11, according to current Trumpers.
Everyone has their fringe. So, in honor of things that happened on 9/11 that are not, acts of terrorism.
Day.
Yeah. So 1950, we had a TV series, you may recall it if you're really, really old, Dick Tracy. Apparently one of the episodes was really violent back in the day. Someone may have just, punched somebody, and that was pretty violent back then. Yeah, and it sparked some outrage.
Was Dick Tracy ever a movie serial too? I wonder.
Might have been. It had to have been, because it was.
I knew it was a TV series. It didn't last for long though, did it? Like just a season or two?
No, just a season or two.
Yeah.
We talked about.
I got one real quick, man.
Yeah.
In the year of the year 9, the Battle of Teutoburg Forest, the Roman Empire was stopped from invading Germanic Europe. Yeah.
Were those the Ottomans?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Ottomans were Turkish.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway,
Germans
so
were
that's
the
why the
barbarians,
Germanic
I think.
language is still pretty unique compared to like Spanish, English, Latin, all that. So there you go. A
Piece
little
of
bit
history.
of history for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
We talked about Vanessa Williams, who was the first Black woman Miss America, and in 1954, on September 11th, the first Miss America TV broadcast was aired. So interesting, not something we usually cover, but fun fact. Rolling Stones premiered on Ed Sullivan.
We cover hot chicks.
This is true.
This shows. If we're 100 episodes, I know we've given a hell of a lot of love to Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
a
lot.
So, yeah, I'm just saying.
A lot. That cease and desist letter's coming, but
and who knows what happened. And after we get off the air, we'll probably go give more love to her. But anyway,
maybe so. The Rolling Stones appeared on Ed Sullivan on 9/11, 1966, and they performed "Paint It Black," which is some people's only known Rolling Stones song.
Was Mick Jagger allowed to move his hips in that era? Was that post Elvis?
That was post Elvis. Yeah, Elvis was 1950. Yeah.
Well, he was late 50s into the 60s. So
yeah. They were definitely swinging them hips. Jagger.
Yeah.
Jagger shook everything. The Carol Burnett show premiered in 1967. Some people watch that. They consider that a classic television show.
I remember watching that on reruns.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, funny thing about Carol Burnett, so Family Guy wanted to use the Carol Burnett theme one time for the intro of one of their episodes. This is early on in Family Guy. Carol Burnett said, no, you can't use it. So they used a snippet of it when Quagmire goes into a smut store, and they're like, wow, this place is clean. Who cleans it? And they're like, oh, Carol Burnett cleans it. And they have freaking Carol Burnett in there cleaning the smut store, porn store. And they're like, Joe says, whenever she tugged her ear, that was how she said, hi to her dad. And he's like, I wonder what she tugged to say goodnight. I was like, this was back in like the early 2000s. She tried to sue Family Guy, but just like, South Park, you can't always get away with that because they say something you don't like. But funny thing, they took a shot at Carol Burnett.
And I don't even know what to say to that.
I don't know
Sure.
what to say. Yeah. 1970. Your grandpa may have driven one of these. My grandpa did. Ford released the Pinto.
It was quite an explosive impression.
It
left
was.
the American market.
You do not put the fuel tank back there, damn it. That's what we found out. And then lastly, the crown jewel of 9/11, 1977, is the Atari 2600, originally known as the Atari Video Computer System, VCS, is released in North America, revolutionizing the video game industry. 1977, on 9/11, we were introduced to the Atari, and the gaming consoles have never been the same.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Jack.
I mean, yeah, I mean, now we are 40 years later playing games that are realistic, and
Very realistic.
Change from those dot matrix video games of the Atari days.
And at first I didn't realize you wanted to do the whole month, so I only did September 11th, kind of like yours. So I'll have to do
in August. You had some other stuff, but you're slack. But that's okay. I was just waiting to see you were done. All you do is say that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to give me an explanation. But it's okay. You did anyway.
I did. Yeah. So I'll have to do a makeup session for a comprehensive month of September.
Okay. And
Matt doing a makeup tutorial session?
I will have to do a makeup session.
No.
And I'll have to exclude my birthday from it.
But that said, though, yeah, I mean, good stuff, Matt. Good stuff. Either way, all right, man. Before we give Matt his flowers for his birthday here in a minute, let's talk about the movie we're going to do next week, because we have 2 more movies to do before we get into Halloween Horrors a month, which is always fun. I'm not the biggest horror movie guy, but I will admit over the years we've done Halloween Horrors. Always end up having a lot of fun doing it, and especially if not so much doing movies like Hellraiser or Texas Chainsaw Massacre that make me want to piss myself, and I didn't really enjoy watching and being horrified, but I generally do have some fun with that month. But until then, man, we had fun talking to Racer today. We had some jokes about it and stuff, but this movie we're doing next week is this is an absolute ridiculous popcorn flick, and but I actually kind of like this movie, and don't pay attention. This is one of those movies where you don't pay attention to the Rotten Tomatoes scores or anything like that, because it's like a 17% movie or whatever. But I actually kind of think this movie's a lot of fun, and we're going to cover Alex Proyas, director of The Crow. We're going to cover his ape shit bizarre Egyptian gods film called Gods of Egypt.
Ages have passed since the gods walked among us. Before the fury swept over our land. Before the war that divided us for eternity.
You're not fit to be king. It's my turn now.
Set has taken over Egypt and enslaved its people. Only one God can save us, but not without his eyes.
Steal from a god. Only a madman would try such a thing.
Where do you suppose we could find someone so mad?
I have something set up for me. We need your help.
Soon I will rule all of the world.
So how do we stop him? Try to keep up.
You know what's waiting. Set has an army behind him. Gods, beasts, demons.
You will bring them reckoning! Bow before me or die.
sets hunters riding their pets. We should run!
Run?
We mortals do it all the time!
Yeah, this is a movie as an absolute blast. If you just sit back and enjoy it for what it is, that's just what it is. It's pure cinema, just gold in a lot of ways, and there's going to be a lot to digest with, a lot to make fun of, but also, god dang, this movie's entertaining as hell. I mean, it truly is. It's from beginning to end. It's just like it's an eyesore at times, but it's one of those eyesores you can't stop taking your eyes off of. I've talked to this movie about people at work before, and everyone has the same sentiment about it. It's like, it's absolute trash, but it's also great. It's just, it might be like the modern age Flash Gordon, in some ways. It's trash in some ways, but yet it's also great.
Yeah.
And that's and sometimes that's a fun movie to do. So why not? So we'll cover that on next week's episode, Gods of Egypt. And stars Gerard Butler and the late Chadwick Boseman. Actually, quite a few good actors in this movie.
Jeffrey
Did they
Rush.
have Rami Malek on there?
He might have there before he got started. There's so many people in this movie.
The actual Egyptian actor. Yeah. There was another Egyptian type movie, wasn't there?
There's been a few over the years.
Wasn't there one done by Ridley Scott?
Oh yeah, that was wasn't that Exodus?
No, what was it? Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's a. You said Gods of Egypt is Proyas, right?
Yeah. I'm not looking at Nikolai Coster-Waldau from Game of Thrones is in it. Elodie Young from Daredevil. Chadwick Boseman, Gerard Butler, Rufus Sewell.
Oh yeah, there was a controversy about it
Yeah.
being
Jeffrey
whitewash
Rush.
cast or something like that.
Yeah.
No, you're right. It is Exodus, but that was 2 years before.
Okay. But yeah, but Gods of Egypt is ridiculously fun. So it'll be fun to do next week. But happy birthday to you, Matt. You finally turned 12 and got your pubes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you picked a fun one to do. And there was something I was going to say. Now my mind just went blank and I completely lost it. Oh well, doesn't matter. It'll come back to me one day. Thank you, Long, for coming and hanging out with us, and hopefully we'll see you again here in a couple weeks when we do some Halloween horrors. Because I know you picked at least one of the movies we're doing, so you have to come on that episode. So it'll be good. But again, as the rebelradiopodcast.com for all your Rebel Radio needs as always. That's really all I got. So until next time, this has been Mark.
This has been Matt.
This is the running trad.
And until next time, remember, as always, just go there and do it.
Do it.